Thank you. Shrikant sir, I would suggest if you're looking forward towards the detail now, so it's way better that along with the particular class now, whenever you have time, please go through the detailed videos as well. When you go through the detailed videos, everybody who's a part of a revision batch, you can also review the detailed videos and just go through the detailed videos of separate topics so that you can do it in a proper manner, because that is important. In the revision batch, we are going to cover the entire portion, but still, it is important that along with this, so not every topic is required. For example, module A and module D is all theory. So when you are looking forward towards theory, take only that part of the theory which is a little difficult in terms of the revision class. You go into the detailed class only of those areas where you feel that you are not able to get that. But if we talk about other than this, right? So if you're looking forward towards a numerical area between B and the module B as well as module C, don't skip that part. If you want to go for the detail, go through the detail classes, because there is no shortcut in terms of your practice. The more detail you go in, better it is, because even though you have lesser time, but that simply means for our examination you still have ample of time. You still have more than I would say 18 to 20 days for this particular examination of CIIB. So you should keep deadlines of different subjects as per those subjects. Okay. Okay, so I'll be starting with the particular chapter of, that is basics of management. The first chapter, which is I'm going to cover up the overview of this particular chapter itself. We'll be talking about what is management, how to deal with it, and all the basics. You'll be also getting a particular PDF of this class after the completion of the class. You get a video recording of this along with the practice book in which you'll be getting this part. So when you're going through the particular class, just make sure that you are going through this portion in a proper manner. Okay, done everyone? Whosoever is there in the class, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up or okay ma'am, so that I can look forward to our class, right? Okay, so let's begin. The first chapter is basics of management. That is, the entire module A is related to this area only. Okay, the entire module A is related to the basics of management there. The process of management altogether. There are different functions of management, process of management, which relates to the first module. So when we talk about management, what do you mean by the term management, everyone? How do we define it? Management is basically taking care of managing the people, managing the work, managing the resources. They're all a part of it. Good evening, ma'am. When we talk about the term management, management is can be defined in different ways. So management can be said that managing men tactfully. You have to get the work done through others. But when you're the basic definition that is taken universally now, that is getting the work done through others. It says getting the work done through others. I'm not going to do the work on my own, but I'm also going to get the work done through others. But in a few ways. Number one, effectively, and number two, efficiently. Management is not something which is done with a snap of a finger. I would say class started, managed. Business started, managed. No. In terms of the entire management, it is basically a very long process. ठीक है ना? It's basically nothing but a process. A process in which we look forward to different scenarios altogether, right? When we talk about the entire management process, it is based upon three different words. First, it's a process. Number two, it is done effectively and efficiently. When we talk about effective, there are different ways of learning. Everyone, so I'll be telling you about ways of learning wherever it's possible, right? So, in effectively, can you see a T there? In efficiency, can you see a C there? है ना? If we talk about effectively and efficiently, it is based upon two words. T for target completion. That means if I give you a target that you have to finish your syllabus by this date, if you are able to finish by that date, then your target is achieved. Your target is achieved, you are being effective in your job. Then, when we talk about efficient, efficient means C is there, we have to be cost friendly. If I gave you a cost of 10,000 and you are able to finish the work within that amount of 10,000, then you are being efficient, right? Got the point, everyone? This is how we define the entire portion of efficient being there. So, in terms of management, you've got three major words: effective, efficient, as well as the process. Okay, so these are the basics. Rest, I think in the PDF you'll be getting all these things to learn there. Peter Drucker is the person who has actually written a specific book. You will have to learn the various authors and their informations as well, because the problem is in your examination they can come up with it. As per the pattern that we can see right now, they can take up a particular chunk of a particular portion or a paragraph directly from the IBF book, and there they can make a case study out of it. They can create a number of questions out of it. So it's way better that you actually go through that. In my class, you'll find all the particular PPTs, the data, everything is created from the book itself. So there is nothing like you have to specifically go through the book. If you want to go through the book, then it's definitely a good thing. If it suits you, if you have enough time or you have been going through the book already and you are looking forward towards my class, then it's a cherry on the cake, right? So in this case, this is what you can look forward to, because ultimately in the examination, this is the pattern they are having. Obviously, by the first examination that we are having in the on 10th and 11th, we'll be totally clear about what exactly they're looking forward to, right? Okay, so then this is a particular definition of management. The management was based. Peter Drucker is one of the most renowned persons in terms of management. He was a very renowned philosopher. Along with him came two people. First is F.W. Taylor. Second is Henry Ford. If I talk about F.W. Taylor, that is Frederick Winslow Taylor, and then is Henry Ford. These three people had played a very important role in terms of management. Whenever you go through any book, not only your book, you go through any book of management, it is incomplete without the name of these people. But who are these people exactly? Henry Ford, okay, starting with F.W. Taylor. So I'll be giving you a particular way of learning what a particular person was like, so that you can actually prepare as per that only. F.W. Taylor was Frederick Winslow Taylor, a person who believed strongly about creating a lot of products. He was totally involved that let's produce huge amounts, because he believed that more the production, better it is. But then he said, hey, no, there's one particular problem that is happening. People said, what? Okay, in this area, in the factory, we are creating so many nuts and bolts and everything else. He said, yes, we are doing that. What's the problem? He says the problem is there any specific standard for that? They said, no, we are just making all those nuts and bolts. Is there a requirement? He said, definitely it's required. If I buy a particular nut or bolt from you today, and after a few days, one of the nuts gets out of that particular thing. Okay? For example, it has been put in the particular chair. Now, if I want the same size, you won't be able to provide me. They said, yes, we cannot. Because industrialization was blinded with production and output. They never cared about what else was happening. So that is where people like Frederick Winslow Taylor said, Nahi, Set up a particular standard. Today I'm wearing a particular t-shirt there. If you'll ask me what's the size I provided, this is small, this is medium, this is large, or double XL, XL, or triple XL, whatever the size would be, I'll be specifying. That means there is no random or vague size, right? If you'll go to the company, you'll say that I would like to inquire about what is the size for the shirt S. They'll specify the shoulder length is this is the length of the particular shirt. This means they will be clearly defining the measurement. That thing, standardization, that thing, simplification, those both the things, standardization, simplification, elimination of vague sizes, everything happened because of this particular person. That is Frederick Winslow Taylor. He was the first man in the history who literally looked forward towards observing what's happening. He observed how people did that. There was a particular experiment which he did was basically loading of pig iron. What is it? Loading of pig iron. Pig iron is one of the lowest quality iron into a particular um, in a particular van, or you can say the vehicle they were putting in. They said he said there is so many movements which is not which is just a wastage. For example, while teaching you, if I'll pick up anything, for example, I was looking forward to my pen. I just got one of the mouses that I was keeping here, and all of a sudden I got stuck with the all these wires and all, and I was like, "Array, this is so much. This is so much time consuming." The problem is I am not able to put my best because I am stuck with unproductive motion, right? If I'm teaching you right now, whatever motion I'm doing is incidental to my teaching. If I don't pick up this particular pen, I cannot teach you. This is important, this is productive, right? But the incidental ones where I feel, let me just set up the touchpad, let me just set up the camera there. What are these things? These are basically something which we will call that these things are basically something which is productive, right? So when you look forward towards all these things, this is what Frederick Winslow Taylor said. With him came the another person who is known as um, Henry Ford. The basic problem with Taylor was that Taylor was obsessed with production. He was obsessed with industrialization. He was totally blinded. If you'll go through all the theories, which are definitely not given in your examination in detail, but still we'll understand. See, if it is more like production is done by machine A, production is done by machine B. If machine A is not working, then repair it. Machine B is not working, repair it. They have to work with the maximum output. But does it really work with us? On one particular day, maybe just before the examination, if you and I are sitting, we can go for 5 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours on that particular day. But can we go in the same way every single day? Can we? Many of us would be reaching 40s, there would be people who would be reaching the 35, there would be people who are just about to enter 30s, there would be people who will be entering their 25, and everybody has their own way of working. That means on one particular day we might be giving 12 hours a day, and then we'll be exhausted. On the next day we might be giving 2 hours only because we are not feeling well. A particular person might be feeling feverish. This is where Henry Fuel came up. Taylor said you have to work in the same way, otherwise your bonuses are out, your basic salary is definitely affected. Henry Fuel said stop it. We have to utilize people as humans, not as machines. You and I can never have that particular thing. So he came up with 14 principles of management. But not only his 14 principles were there were 14 principles. Along with those 14 principles, he also came up with the management process. But pata, in the management process, what is it? Let me just specify. It is POSDCORB: planning, organizing, staffing. First of all, I'll plan. But I'm going to take a class today. This is a plan. Then I'll organize. No, I want to keep this PPT. No, I don't want to keep this particular part. I want to keep this particular part. That is organizing. Then I'll keep people under me. This particular person should work. This particular person should work under me. That is staffing, right? Then we have directing. I'll direct people. This is how you need to work. See, the point is you have been kept in terms of my people there. You are kept to do service for me. So this is where you have to do the work. That is directing. But the point to be noted here is when he gave the management process, he said this word as coordinating, which later is known as the essence of management. Can we really go with the class without coordinating for the class? There are two different words, everyone: coordinating and cooperating. If I said that, ma'am, sir, can I have a class at 7 p.m. because there is no other slot available? I said, ha, there's no problem, ma'am. If you are comfortable with it, we are also. This is time that we have to join for the class. This is coordinating. When both of us are getting into sync with each other. This is what he said. That is coordinating. But the point was later on it was said that no, it's not coordinating only, but we also have to do controlling. Because if you start with a particular process and you really do not look forward to it in such a way that you said that, ma'am, this is how we need to work, but you don't work that way. So I'll have to come up and say, sir, the exam is approaching, you have to cover up this part of syllabus. And you'll be like, "Karte hain, ma'am, it's okay. As per planner, only if I'm late by 1 or 2 days, will it really matter?" I'm like, no, you have to work as per the plan. Why? Because sometimes when you make the plan, if there's any deviation, we should look forward to it. Why were we more productive in terms of our studies when our teachers were looking? Because they were yelling at us, they were directing us, they were always reminding, Beta, you have your exam coming up, please prepare. That particular thing is controlling. Then came two different persons. Please note down the names if possible. That is Luther, Guick, and Urvik. There are two particular persons, Guick and Urvik. These two people are responsible. They stopped there and said, "Nay, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. Done with controlling?" They said, "Yes, this is it." He said, "No, you always have to report to people. How can you continue without reporting?" And that is also a very important aspect. And last, they added called budgeting. If you and I we do not anticipate the future, what are we exactly doing there? That is budgeting. So this came out to be the management process altogether. So whenever you study, it started from post call where CO was coordinating, but later on it was replaced by controlling, and the coordinating is still there, but it is there as essence of management. It is not a function, it's an essence of management. Please note down these words, everyone. These are really important because this can be a major problem if you don't remember it. Okay? Take a moment and note it down, please. Done, everyone? Please confirm. Ananta ma'am, done? Dharamveer sir? Done? Chaliye. Then let's move on and understand the next term to look forward to. This is where you will find this particular thing in the PDF itself. What do you mean by planning? Planning is basically the first, it is called the primary function of management. Under the planning, what do you find? Under planning is the WH family. What, when, why, by whom, and then last is how. Okay? Planning basically says that we are looking into the future. Who will do it? What will we do? Why will we do? By whom it should be done? And how it should be done? Those basic questions, those hard questions of a business could be asked in terms of planning, right? So when we are looking forward to it, then this is what we will define in terms of planning. That's the primary function of management. Okay? So let's move on and understand it in more detail. When you decide to plan in advance about what needs to be done, when, where, and how it shall be done, and who would be doing it. That is where we look forward towards planning. It's the first function of the management. Acha, is this the first function? And then it ends on controlling? Basic question. Does the process of management ends on controlling? Okay, I hope it's visible now in a better way. Does the process of management ends on controlling? Because it's post corp now. But as you can see in the particular flow chart, I have said this: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. What if I say it doesn't end on that particular point? Because it's an endless process, everyone. It's not a process which starts at one point and ends on another. It's a process which goes on forever. See, if I talk about the school only, we used to have a timetable in our school now. Do you really think at any point of time they stop taking care of the timetable? The day they would stop taking care of the timetable, what will happen? A chaos in the school. Why? Because teachers aren't taking the classes the way they are supposed to, because as per plan they are supposed to work, and as per controlling they are supposed to follow the particular plan. If they are not, then we'll be taking action against that. Now after taking the action, what will happen next? Once we have taken the action, what will happen next? Then we'll have to prepare the next plan, considering the fact there was a failure in this plan this year, right? So it's an endless process. You cannot say it's the first or the last. Yes, in terms of the process, it starts with planning, and it ends with controlling, but leads to another cycle of it. Okay? Okay. Then after this, the next point that comes is organizing. Organizing is arranging. Arranging all the things that we are requiring in terms of, see, if I say I want to conduct a particular party, and then what will I do? I'll get the particular resources for the particular party, what kind of things we need, whatever, what kind of drinks, what kind of food, whatever resources are required. I'll be going through all those things on my tips. That is organizing. Organizing is basically another important function performed by the management of an organization, deals with the organizational structuring and arranging the resources. Right? We're going to arrange the resources for the same. In terms of organizing, first thing is division of work. But then under this, what happens is we divide similarity of work into different ways. So there would be a division of work, allocation of responsibility, authority, and task coordination. There are two, three words that we'll be discussing: authority, responsibility, and accountability. I'll be discussing it here only because this is linked with the chapters later on. So once we are done it here, it saves a lot of time. Plus, it is like connecting the dots. Authority, responsibility, and accountability. Taking it to the era of Spider-Man. If you'll go through the movie of Spider-Man, there was a particular, I think in the beginning only, in the beginning movies only you'll find it. There was a particular line said by the uncle of Spider-Man, which said, with great power comes great responsibility. The power in the organization comes out of the organization structure. If I am the CEO, then anybody who's working under me, because of the organization structure, they are bound to work for me. That is their great power. है ना? The great power comes with a great responsibility. If I become exploitative towards people, what will happen? That exploitative nature of mine will make the people leave the organization. The employee turnover would be really high, my goodwill go down, and the people who are going to do the work for me, they're gone, isn't it? That is where it is said that with great power comes great responsibility. This is the great power is power to command over others in an organization, that is through the organization structure. So if I look forward to it, great power talks about authority. Authority doesn't come because of the power, the physical power, or you can say the mental power. No, it's based upon the seniority in the organization. And responsibility is basically answerability, है ना? Obligation to do the work. You are obliged to do the work. If I am a senior, then I am obliged. You are obliged to provide the report to me. That is responsibility. And the last thing is accountability. Accountability means what? Answerability. If in case there is a particular task, I am a superior, I gave the particular task to my junior, and he further distributed to the task to one of my juniors again. So one subordinate gave it to the other subordinate, then it gave it to the subordinate. But the point is, this particular person is directly answerable to me. Even if S3 shifts it to S4, he will be answerable to S2 for his quality. S1 will always ask S2, Hanji, kahan tak pahuncha ka? How much of you the work have you done? Then if S2 says, Sir, I had given work to S3, nahi, he distributed further to S4. Trust me, we were trying to do the work. S1 is currently literally going to say, Sir, I gave the work to you, Mr. S2. It doesn't matter who else was doing it. It was your responsibility to finish it up. Basically, accountability would be of that particular person to whom it was directly given. That means authority can be shared with lower people. Responsibility can also be shared up to a certain extent, not big extent, but up to a certain extent. And accountability, it is there at the largest level. It can never be given to anybody else. You are accountable for your deeds, and you will remain accountable to the person who has actually given it to you, no matter who that particular person is. ठीक है ना? Then, in terms of organizing, they say it is all about task management. Then there's a reporting structure, because you will decide who's a subordinate or who's a senior, and then comes the decision making as well. Right? Then, after organizing, what comes? After organizing, the next point that comes is stuffing. See, if I want to get the work done through others, how can I get the work done through them? Okay? When we talk about staffing, staffing is all about getting the work done through others. But if I want to get the work done through others, where are the people? I need to get good people into the organization. But then, do you think how can companies are winning these days today? If you look at the national or international leaders, you'll find it the leader of, if I say the head of the companies like Microsoft, the heads of the various companies, international level, you'll find most of them are Indians right now. What are they dealing with? They are not worrying about the race. They are not worrying about the gender of the particular person. They are not worried about the even the seniority of that particular person. How many years he would have given. They are based upon the caliber. They are based upon the aptitude, and at the same time, the interest of that particular person plus his capabilities are way more important. Staffing plays a very important role in the role of, in terms of growth of the organization. How can the organization grow? Right, in terms of staffing, organization is basically having a human capital. Now they look forward towards it in terms of making the work easy. In terms of the working resources, a human resource plays a very important role now. Okay, let me give you one particular brief information about that. In management, you will find 5 M's: men, material, money, machine, method. So overall, there are 5 different M's. But you will realize material, money, machine, method. Any of these cannot be applied without men. You have money, but you have no men. Can you work only with machines all the time? 100% working automation can be done? No. You need people for repair, you need people for checking, you need people for installation. Try that. You cannot eliminate the presence of a human being. Then money. Who will acquire the money? Can a robot acquire money for you? You will have to go and pursue investors, and you have to know go to the people there. You have to get seed financing for your business. You need an angel investor, venture capitalist. What are those? They are arranging money from men. Machine, you have to buy the machine from ultimately a person only. And the methods are derived by people, not the machines. The machines are built by us again. Again, without men, how can you grow? That is, staffing plays a very important role. Under staffing, there would be 3 phases. One is recruitment. You go and tell number of people, Pata, we are a really good company. Come on, apply for us. Come on, apply. That is recruitment. It's a positive process. Second point is after recruitment, the second point is the selection process. You have got a good variety of people to check out from, and then you say this particular is suitable, this is not suitable. That is the selection process. And once these people are there in the organization, they're like, "Arey, every day I'm doing the same thing. Where is my growth?" Right? If I keep on teaching ABFM every single day after a certain particular time, right now it's a very interesting subject because we are having new things there. After 2, 3 batches, it turns into monotony. If the organization says that Niharika, you'll be working only towards ABFM, what will happen? Monotony will hit me. Humans are minded. Humans are always bored with what they're doing. Where is the development? That is the next question I'll ask, isn't it? So first is recruitment. You bring people into the organization. Then is selection. That is when you say, nah, this particular person is not suitable, this is suitable. And then the last one is training and development. When these people who are working in the organization, they want to reach to the next level in the organization. That is development. We'll be studying about all the things, these things in detail when we'll reach those points. Directing is telling people what to do, when to do, how to do. It is basically required. If I recruit you and I don't tell you a single thing about your work, then what will happen? But you'll enter the organization, you'll try to learn the work, you'll feel infuriated, you feel inferior complex that everybody is doing the work. I cannot do it. After a few days of struggle, you'll be like, I cannot work here. I'm sorry. Why? Because you are not told about what to do there, isn't it? So basically, you need someone who will be guiding you. That would be the leader. But that leader, how can he take out the flaws of your work? He can take out the work only when he is actually supervising you. So first is supervision, but this particular person will get disappointed. He will feel bad whenever he is not having motivation from the company itself. You do this work, you'll get a refund. You do the work, you'll get an incentive. You do the work, you'll get a promotion. That is motivation. And then last is, how can you do all this without communication? Enough. So when we talk about directing is telling the people to do something. So it is based upon these four elements. To learn it, kindly note down the acronym. You can use the word SMLC: supervision, motivation, leadership, communication. The elements of directing. Kindly note this down, everyone. Let me know. Noted. Everybody else, Ananta ma'am, they're in the class. Subodh sir, Primrata ma'am, done. Everybody noted now. These are nothing but little tricks that will help you to learn. Done? Okay. Very good, everyone. Let's look forward to the next point after directing. The last point is controlling. Achha, I would like to ask you a few basic questions, everyone. Ami ma'am, basically, na, the batches for English medium is at a different time and this is at a different time. Hindi class would start soon. It is not starting today. Okay? Chaliye. Let's continue with the next point there. The next point says is controlling. What do you mean by controlling there? Controlling is basically telling you you are going against the company. Acha, let's look forward to it. You're not able to achieve the targets. Acha, let's try to work upon it. You are confused about the targets that you were supposed to it. Let's look forward to it. Anybody who's basically not able to understand the rules and regulations, we're going to deal with that. Controlling is to make sure whatever plan you made, we are going to stick to that plan. That is controlling, everyone. Stick to the plan. That is controlling. Okay? That is the clear function of controlling. Whenever you're trying to learn a particular word, controlling means stick to the plan. Acha, in terms of controlling, let me ask you a few questions. I'll be covering major portions of each and every chapter here only. Here now we have a few words called MBO. If I'll say to you that today I'll be just like Sunil, everybody, you have to achieve the goals. You are like, Acha, what is the goal? Basic question. If I come up with you and say that everybody you are supposed to achieve the goal, then the question would be my personal goal or company's goals. Two kinds of goals are there. One is organization goals, and then is individual goals, personal goals. Organization goal would be, let's talk about Book My Show. Book My Show started in 1999. People didn't had internet connection in their houses at that point of time. People used to go to cyber cafe, and that too there were very limited cyber cafes where you will find internet at that point of time. You know, at that point of time it was very difficult. That means at one point of time they were just barely surviving. They were praying to God, Array, I should get money, I want really survival of my organization. In any case, they were looking for survival. After the survival, what next is there? Survival. Then they look forward towards profit. There came a day in 2011, that is 2011, started with the era of 2G. Started with it now. There was a time when we started 2G. You remember a particular time that where we used to type something on the particular phone, it will take a lot of time. But at that time, our phones were equipped with what? Internet. This is where Book My Show started making a profit. And today, it is basically a website where most of the people, before going out for a movie, they look at it and then they move on. That is what we call profit, and then we look forward towards growth. He won't stop at one particular business, he'll move towards another. That is growth, everyone. Controlling talks about MBO, management by objectives. Management by objectives means what are the objectives of the organization? They say we are looking forward towards survival first. Then hey, done with survival. Now we are looking forward towards profit. Done with profit. Now we are looking forward towards growth. And during this entire thing, the particular person will say, who's working in the organization? It's me now. Where is my growth? My growth can be financial. Why am I working in the organization? Because I want money. Why am I working in the organization? Because I'm looking forward towards professional growth. If I have something exclusive, right, that will bring me money into the organization, that is what we call in terms of individual requirements, right? That is controlling. Management by objectives means you are run by objectives. Whatever objective you make, you work towards the achievement of those objectives. There's one more very interesting thing. That is this is management by objectives run by it. There are certain things called key result areas. Acha, tell me about it, everyone. If the stationery expenses goes up by 10%, does it really make a difference? I was getting 10 pens earlier, now I have to pay a little more. How does it matter? Every single day, the people who are working in the organization, how much pen will they ask for? But what if my labor starts asking for more money? Then what will we do? If the labor starts cribbing about the fact that, Ray, I want more money, I want more money, what will I do at that point of time? That is key result area. Labor expenses going high is a alarming situation for the organization. The cost is going beyond the accepting rate. It's very dangerous for these people. That is a part of controlling. You know? Then, in terms of controlling, what do you do? First of all, you set up a standard. See, in terms of plan, it's written we have to finish something by this particular date. I said that by 18th June, I should be done with my work because without that, anything will not do. Na? That is in terms of the standard that I set. Then, if I try to achieve it, first of all, I'll measure the performance. Acha, what amount of syllabus is done till now? That is, I'm going to measure the performance. Next is compare that particular performance with the actual. If I'll see my actual is this, my standard is this, there is a difference. I'll find the deviation and then I'll take corrective action. Everybody, please make sure that you are going through these processes in a proper manner. There can be questions based upon the sequence of a particular process. If such questions comes, then it becomes a problem. Okay? And now this is where the most of the chapter would be over in this particular area. What is the importance of management? Today I'll be ending up with the this basic thing. Tomorrow I'll start with the particular thought processes, the thoughts behind management there. The school of thoughts, various schools of thought, we'll be finishing it off, and I think maybe by tomorrow we'll be done with this particular chapter itself. Okay. But let's look forward to it in a detailed manner there. Importance of management. Ajay's importance, is management important? Indeed it is. Without that, can we have a class? When we are conducting my class, there are certain things that are happening. You just see the class. We have a coordination with the tech team. The tech team is basically looking at the class right now. Even if there's any glitch, I can call them and say that, "Arey, I'm having a problem. Please make sure my class is working fine." They'll be looking forward towards that problem, and then they'll be trying to solve it to the maximum limit. You know? At the same time, the with the working of the tech team, I am also doing my work. I have done the particular homework of what am I going to teach today beforehand, and how am I going to teach today beforehand. It was decided. The resources were already taken up. That means management is there everywhere. Management is all pervasive. What do you mean by pervasive? Pervasive means required at every level and in every organization. That is pervasive everywhere. Okay. And in terms of that is effective change management tool. Always remember, if you want to change something now, you'll have to grill something. You have something called unfreeze. We'll study about this in the book itself. Then unfreeze, then change, and then freeze. You said you don't study during the day, you don't study during the working hours. I said, no, no, you have to do it. You'll be like, how can we do it? First of all, we are breaking down the particular myths there that we cannot study with work, right? We are unfreezing the particular thought process. Then we bring the change. Every day you're going to sit for your self study. That is bringing the change. And then we freeze that yes, I believe in you, you believe in yourself that you can study while working. Unfreeze, change, and freeze, right? This is what to define in terms of management. Management is all about helping you for the change, helps in achieving the group goals. Group goals are required because many of the organizations are based upon projects. Na? Once one particular project is over, only then the entire group will get incentive. That is their optimum utilization of resources. If you know we have this much amount of can, this much amount of machinery, this much amount of property, give it on rent, give this to particular organization. Optimum utilization. Then improved functioning of the business is there. Development of various resources is there, contributes towards better organization and proper direction to the organization. It gives proper direction. This is what I want to do, how I want to do, when I want to do. Then integration of various interests. People are not interested. If I say that I am interested in my professional growth, if the organization says I want money, we are not getting aligned. The organization says, "See, we want money. You want professional growth. Let's come and work with us in such a way that you will be getting this much amount of money, and this is where you will be getting this much exposure of work. My work is done. I wanted professional growth. They are giving me the professional growth, and they are saying that we want money at this point of time. We're looking forward towards growth of the organization. So I said, I will give you that." Now this is where various interests of the people are getting merged. Management of fluctuations. So you really think society remains the same throughout the year? No. The economy changes every single day. Just a few, I would say, just a year back, Ukraine was a very um, developed. It was near about a developed country. Had everything in terms of infrastructure, which was way good. What happened? Whenever there's a fluctuation, you have to understand it will go through that. Then comes innovation. Management makes everything innovative. Before starting the particular class, if I go, "Nee, this is the PPT I want, this is the tool I'm going to use, animation would be this is what I want to highlight." I have decided in advance. There is innovation. Then inculcation of team spirit. Do you really think my particular class is just my thing? If I come to you and say, "Nay, nay, my class is just because of me, nobody else," what will happen? You'll come up and say, "Ma'am, who had set up this particular software that you are using currently?" You'll be like, "The tech team." Then you'll be like, "Ma'am, who adjusted your mic? Who adjusted your basic camera requirements and the everything equipment that you are using? Who trained you to use it?" I'll be like, "Nay, nay, I trained myself." But who gave that idea of using it that way? Tech team. Can you really work on your own in an organization? It's next to impossible. That means one has to understand that there is a requirement of team spirit. Then problem solving. What do you mean by problem solving? Problem solving means in the organization you cannot only crib. पता नहीं बहुत काम पड़ा है. Sorry, we couldn't do it. This thing ends. Nokia died because of this. पता है? They were not addressing a problem. Everybody was bringing change. Samsung brought change. Then Apple brought a major change in their working there. They slowly and steadily grew a lot. Microsoft also took all that particular effort. Motorola started taking an effort. Where was Nokia? Organization died an unnatural death because they were not addressing the problem. And then employee growth. Who works in the organization? Does the machine work in the organization? Does this digipen work? No, it's me who's working. At this point of time, if the organization says that Niharika ma'am, what will happen is that this is your salary. You cannot ask for even a single penny more for the next 10 years. And during those 10 years, you will have to work for 4 hours, 5 hours screen time daily. We won't give you much, we won't give you less. What will happen? Even if the salary is very luring now, after hardly a year or two, I'll be bored with the work. There would be monotony. I'll be like, why am I doing this work? While I'm getting good money, again, motivation is there from the organization. They have made it clear. But what will happen to this human mind? This human mind is never satisfied. It will creep. Nahi, I want to do something different. That is where you have to look forward and address the problem of a person. He wants growth. Why are you giving the JIB and CIB examinations? Why did you go through the pain of giving JIB examination? Why are you going through the pain of giving CIB examination? It isn't easy to finish 600-page module, and that to 5 modules. It's taking more than 3,000 pages for this examination. That too, you'll be losing the entire month of June, because every single Saturday Sunday that is there, you have your exam, and you will be also having your job. What is it that you are doing in terms of CIB? You're looking forward towards employee growth. Increment is one thing, and professional growth is another. You want promotions. There is employee growth. Okay? That is where management is important. We are looking forward towards such a, there only you'll be learning about 2 3 different terms as well. First is vision. Organization says in the next 10 years we want to rule the market. That is their vision. Mission is in this particular market we want leadership and all. Vision is where do you see in the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, long term growth of the organization. In terms of mission, that's an aim of the organization. I want to be a market leader. I don't care what's happening. I want to be the market leader. That is mission. Then comes objectives. I want to be the market leader. How can I be a market leader? I want a growth of 10% every year. That is, from that bigger mission, I have a little objective. That is what you call helps the entire management to achieve the goals. Okay? Got these points, everyone? This is just the beginning, I would say. This session was more or less the warm up session where I covered the first module, that is the management process. Okay? This is what we'll be considering in terms of the class. And in the PDF itself, I'll add a few MCQs for your practice as well, so that you can practice all those questions in the given PDF itself. Okay. So after the completion of class, the recording is available in our app, in the particular pack itself. That means if you have taken the Mahapack or you are a part of the revision batch, after the completion of the class, after maybe around 12 to 14 hours, you can review the recording. Along with that, the practice book is there, which is the PDF of this particular class, which you can review after the class. That means you can revise the particular class twice. One is while going through the live class, second is going through the PDF, and before the examination, you can always review it again. That is the third time. So, revision is the key. I would never say just go through the revision class and you are done. No. There are topics where you will require detailed study as well. Go through the detailed video. What's the harm? You want to score well, never aim at 50 marks. Never try to aim at 50. If you'll try to aim only at 50, you'll end up getting 45 or 40 even. You have to go, look forward towards more there. Okay? That is what I can say. You can look forward to our classes there. What you can do is you can have to go onto our app there. In terms of app, how do we look forward to it? Let me show you. There it is. This is where you can go on to our app, that is